Don't keep your underwear too long. As you get older, you have a tendency to want to hold on to them for like sentimental reasons. Don't. You know what? Buy new underwear at least every 3 months. That's what I would say. And I've got some underwear that's like 12 years old. So, you know, be hygienic and eat plenty of meat.
Yeah. Accidentally shaved my face too close.
You look like a baby.
Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Baby face, baby.
I feel like I look like a ball sack. God. God, I don't even want to look at
No,
it.
you look young. You look a youngster.
I don't like it. It's just stupid. New razor, this beard trimmer I'm using, and if you don't have the guard on it just right, no matter what the setting you put it on is, because most of them have their own separate little guards.
Guards you put
This
on.
one's got one guard, and then you change the setting. But if you don't put the one guard on right, it's going to be flat side willy.
No, you need to get the...
And one swipe, I mean, after you do one swipe, that's it. You can't go back. You got to finish the job. And now I look like a French bulldog's ball sack.
No, you don't look too bad. I mean, it does suck a little bit.
Tony Gump, do I look like a ball sack?
I don't think so, no.
You're just trying to make me feel
You don't
better.
look like my ball sack.
Well, that is good.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
You'd be all wrinkle-faced.
Could you imagine me coming on this podcast looking like John Burt's ball sack? We would immediately get banned.
Yes, we would.
Yeah, we did all these things, and we talked about all these different things we weren't supposed to, and then they banned us because Andrew looked like John Burt's ball sack.
Now it has to be named the Birmingham Ball Sacks.
That's right.
That's
We'd have our
right.
gay flag football team. Yeah.
right.
Welcome to the show, everybody. So glad you are here. Lots of stuff going on. Debate coming up. If you're watching this after the debate, I'm sorry. I'm sure it was fantastic. We will have commentary on that. But we have to start with this. We talked about on the last podcast, Jamal Bowman. Remember AOC, Jamal Bowman, those two were partying and having their little rally in the Bronx, and he was using the F word and slinging a stool.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen somebody sling stool like that since the last time Joe Biden was on stage.
So embarrassing.
And so they had the primary for Jamal Bowman last night. And before we do that, Tony Gump, can you Google Jamal Bowman's opponent? I can't think of his name. Find out his name and then Google a picture of the guy. I just want you guys to see who Jamal Bowman lost to in his primary. It was a primary, so he was a Democrat. It was Democrat versus Democrat. Guy's name's George Latimer. Now, so Google George Latimer, and let's just pull up photos. And I just want you to get a gander at this guy that Jamal Bowman lost to. Hit images. Let's see if we can get a good one of him.
You're talking about east-west?
Yeah. So go to the bottom row, third from the... Yeah, right there. Look at this. This guy, he doesn't have your just typical lazy eye. He is going from east to west.
Is one fake, or is that just...
I wonder.
I don't know. But you would think if it was fake, you could get it to point straight forward. But this guy is got one eye behind his back. You ain't going to be able to talk about him behind his back.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, he's probably got one eye on the Republicans and one eye on the people.
Or one eye on the Democrats. Maybe that's how he won.
Now, that kind of reminds me of Sanders from Arkansas and then the guy Paxton, the AG from Texas.
Paxton's got a pretty strong lazy eye. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, it's noticeable, but it's not too bad. And again, there's nothing wrong with a lazy eye here and there. It's just, maybe you just have...
I'm lazy and I've got eyes.
That's true.
So
John Burt's got lazy eyes all the time. But anyway, when it comes to Jamal Bowman, just as an update, he lost his primary. And in retrospect, I went through Jamal Bowman's social media, and I found one particular video that he had posted a few months back. And I think there is a very important lesson in going back and watching this video. I want you to see this.
That's
messed up.
Got you! We got you. And more to come. Clown, thug, crook, criminal.
So, going back and looking through this, the very important lesson to be learned was Donald Trump always gets the last laugh.
It's almost like the guy was looking in a mirror when he said that.
This guy just had the time of his life when Donald Trump got his mugshot. And right now, Donald Trump is well on his way to the White House, and this guy is taking it to the house.
So now we can go, ha, 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 got you.
Funny guy. So anyway, I just wanted to update everybody on that. How's everybody else doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
What's up with the outfit, by the way?
Oh, this is my Bruce Stringbean outfit.
Bruce Stringbean. And
Yes.
for those that listen to the radio show, they know who Bruce Stringbean is. Your alter ego.
Yes. Yes, and I'm going to be doing a song a little later on about the debate.
Yeah, that's good. I'm very
It's
excited.
a literary genius piece. I'm
And you did it. You put it
very
together.
proud of it.
Put it together yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Tony Gomp, how's things going with you?
Hey, Tone.
Everything's good, just busy as always, and nice to see you guys.
This dude never stops. He was up at 4:30 this morning, just running
Always
around.
True.
Always going like Bruce. What was Bruce Springsteen's nickname? Was he the boss?
Yeah.
So what would Bruce Stringbean be? The employee?
The CEO. I'm the CEO.
I'm the assistant manager. I'm shift leader, Bruce Stringbean. Anyway, debate coming up. Obviously, it's going to take a minute for us to react to that, but I want to talk about something that kind of gets on my nerves, but it's part of political talk, and that is the VP stakes, the VP talk.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's got an opinion on it. Every jabroni on TV is like, oh, I think it's going to be this person. Nobody knows. Well, you need to not say, I think it's going to be this person. You need to say, my favorite is X, Y, and Z, which is what I did when I picked my first pick. Y'all remember who it was? It was Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yes.
As soon as he dropped out of the presidential race, which was after, Iowa, the first one, I said, I would love to see that guy as vice president. Well, most people have written the guy off. But now rumors are starting to circulate again that Vivek may be back on the list. And I got to say, I
so
think
strong.
that would be a genius move. Young guy. He's brown.
He's smart and he knows what he's talking about.
Yep.
Right.
Both full of energy.
And he's
Both
saying
candidates.
stuff that other candidates wouldn't dare say. Talking about the deep state, talking about the Soros and the globalists and the Federal Reserve. Like, he says the things that nobody in politics is allowed to say.
It's like the Republicans' Barack Obama, and that's probably why still 0.1% of me is scared of this guy.
Yeah, that's true. He could be a plant. He could be a Hindu plant. What kind of plants come from India? Do you know? Is that a
Rubber plants.
Rubber plants.
I don't know. That sounded good.
It's like the one where it's like a fake plant, and you look at the bottom, it says "Made in India." Little sticker on it.
Like that. And you make tires. You just get a knife and make a tire out of it. Something like that. I'm not too up on that.
How about a hibiscus? That's an Indian plant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
very beautiful.
A jasmine. A lotus. Everybody knows what a lotus is.
It's a car too.
Yes, it is. A neem. A peace lily.
Mango.
Peace lily. Wow.
Mangoes are from India.
Mangoes.
Crazy.
I love mangoes.
I'm just saying, if it's stuff from India, it's not bad. And I think Vivek
Food. I love
Ramaswamy's
Indian
not bad.
food. You either hate it or you love it.
I don't even know if I've ever had Indian food. Now I have when I did Uber pick up Indian people, so I know what their food smells like because they really smell like their food.
Yeah, it's very strong.
It's like, thank you for picking me up. Would
Tony,
you like
you've
some
enjoyed
curry?
it, hadn't you? You've enjoyed Indian food.
I've had it before. It's okay.
He's like, is there Indian steak?
The goat is
I'll have
really
it.
good.
The goat. Mm-hmm. Is it the goat of Indian food?
Yes, it is. The goat is the goat of Indian food.
Nice.
You know, and it's not really stringy. They cook it. If you cook it long enough, it's nice and smooth.
Why don't we do that? Why don't we us three go to an Indian restaurant one day and we'll document it. We'll turn around and play it on the podcast.
Okay.
Y'all good with that?
They don't sell steak or beef. That's all I eat pretty much.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Bring you a steak and ask if they cook it.
Remember what Gandhi
that'd
said?
work.
Remember Gandhi got mad at me because I tried to order him a cheeseburger
Yeah.
when we were on our way to Atlanta. I've got before I get too far ahead of myself. I know I'm already backing out on on the VP stuff. I need to send this to you, Tony. It is a picture from me at Mandu today. I hit a milestone, John Bird.
Uh-oh, what?
A big milestone, and they asked if they could take a picture of me and post it on their social media. And that milestone is that I just conducted my 200th Mandu session.
Wow.
200. That's a lot.
Yeah, but you got to go for 500. I don't know.
I don't think they even have a sign because once this picture comes through, they give you a sign to hold. It's like a.
Yeah, I did mine with 50.
Oh, did you?
I had one.
Yeah, they got a 50. They got 100. They've got. I don't know if they got a 150, but they got a 200. I think that's the highest they go.
Well, for what it's worth, I'm proud of you because that's a you've been going hard at this and you really earned it too. You've taken the time and the effort for sure.
I thought it was really weird at first, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. But
there we go.
Did you get it? Okay, here we are. Here we are. All right, this is me at Mandu. This is today. Okay, so I've got my face shaved and I look like a ball sack, but I was that's not gonna let you show it because it came from my iPhone. Is that what
You
it
look
is?
good.
Yeah.
Come on, cuz. Here, I'll just show you all on my phone. I don't even care.
What the?
It's having me download something to be able to play it.
Whatever. Here, look at John Bird's camera. Oh, here we go. Where am I at? Look at that. Oh, focus.
There you go.
200, baby.
You
Look
look
at
like
that.
you're prepping for wrestling or something.
Yeah, I was flexing my
wrestling
muscle to show off. This right here is what 200 looks like. You ready? Boom, baby. Anyway, maybe that's why I can't get any sleep because I got high T. I got too much testosterone running through my body. I haven't been able to sleep good in like a week.
I think that may be still more stress and anxiety.
It's probably why I look like a ball sack. I watched Monday's podcast and I was like, dude, I really look tired.
Yeah. We need to do makeup. We need to put makeup on. I think for the next one, I'm going to do like actors makeup.
What if will you really do it?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna do John. We'll do you as a test run. You'll be the guinea pig. You'll do makeup. We'll see how it looks on camera.
Okay.
And if it looks okay, we'll say makeup after 2,000 followers, 2,000 subscribers,
Okay.
or 2,500.
2,500.
$2,500 sounds good.
Tony Gup didn't want to do the suit thing, and he's like, you're taking it to makeup.
Well, it's not going to be like, eyelashes or any stuff like that. It's going to be like a newsman.
And then once we get to 10,000, we're all going to wear dresses.
No, I can't. No.
I was totally kidding.
No, what? What will we do? We'll drink spoiled milk. We will chug a half gallon of spoiled milk.
Okay, so how about that VP stuff? Vivek Ramaswamy, is that who I was talking about?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So
shake your chair back and forth real quick.
Vivek Ramaswamy, who is from India. Wow, that went from Indian food to Mandu to wearing dresses. That escalated quickly. There's articles out. This is actually from the Hindu Times or something, or it's MSN. Vivek as Trump's VP, internet abuzz with speculation as Trump says he has shortlisted his running mate. Now that is from 2 days ago, that article. But people on Twitter are abuzz about Donald Trump says he's got it decided in his head of who it's going to be. Somebody, I don't know if Trump said it, but somebody said that the VP choice is going to be at the debate. And Vivek was on CNN today saying he's going to be at the debate. Now, there's supposed to be no crowd at this debate for the 27th. So I don't know if he means outside. I don't know if he's talking about a different
debate. Watching it on closed circuit, too.
Yeah, something like that. Here's a spot from CNN earlier today with whatever that gooberhead's name is.
And the reality is this. The last debate, let's talk about a lot of the things that happened. This is last time around during COVID. There were claims that Biden made that he had no involvement in his son's dealings. We were in an era of social media censorship. We were in an era where the Hunter Biden laptop story was suppressed on the eve of the last election. I hope everybody has learned those lessons of the past to say that, you know what, we're not going the way of censorship this time around. We're not going the way of distorting the information the public gets. This time around, as a country, let's learn from our mistakes of the past. Give the information to the voters so they're able to make their own decisions. And one of the things I really worry about for the country right now, John, is this. I think it's a very real possible scenario, is that Biden's coming in, you talk about coming in hot, probably going to call Trump a convicted felon. Well, let's play this out. A lot of legal experts believe this is going to be overturned on appeal or by the Supreme Court. And I worry about a scenario where, God forbid, we have another election. If Biden won it by a narrow margin and then the Supreme Court overturns it after the fact, and we know that actually affected the views of voters, I worry about this country. That's even worse than the suppression of the Hunter Biden story on the eve of the last election. So this time, let the voters have the facts, and I hope this country, from the media to the political establishment, has learned the failures of 2020 to do right by Americans this time around.
You know what's funny is as he was explaining that, did you see the host, the CNN host, who was kind of like, let the voters decide? That's weird. Never heard that one.
He didn't interrupt at least.
He didn't. He didn't. There's a much longer version of that, but that's just part of it. But here's the advantage to having Vivek Ramaswamy be the guy, because he will go on CNN. He will go on MSNBC. He'll go to the opposition, which is, by the way, Trump's worth its weight in gold when it comes to Trump, because look what he's doing. He's going to Philly. Yeah. He's going to the Bronx. He's going to deep blue cities. He's not scared. Republicans have always been scared. It's the same thing when it comes to Republicans and the black vote. Republicans, for whatever reason, were terrified to talk to black people. And I don't mean that literally, but I'm just talking about the black society as a whole. They were terrified to talk to them. And nobody ever understood why, other than you just let the Democrats call you racist, and instead of going to the black community and say, no, let me show you why we're not racist, they just let it be. They say, fine, we'll deal with the white people, you deal with the black people.
Yeah, they just gave up the black vote.
Yeah.
Just like washed it off.
And that's ironic, seeing that the Republican Party is the party that actually freed the slaves.
Yes.
And the Democrat Party was the one that continued with segregation and everything else.
Yeah.
But Trump does that. That's why Vivek is a good pick, because he does the same thing. There's a clip of him on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the God. That guy is no fan of Trump, but he's come out and said he's no fan of Biden either. And so this is where I think there's a lot of black people in this country are in this spot. They're like, well, you know, I've been told Trump's X, Y, and Z. but Biden ain't doing nothing for me. Trump did when he was in office. I was doing all right, so maybe I should go back to the other side. You're not going to get him to the other side unless you show up and start talking to him. And right here is Vivek doing just that.
If you were violent that day, you need to be held. You need to be held accountable for that violence. Now, was there, I think, a lot of unanswered questions that need to be answered, and I think it's up to good journalists to step up and understand.
Did a president incite it, though? Did Donald Trump incite
I don't
the coup?
think Donald Trump incited a violent coup if you just look at the words of what he said. He specifically said peacefully.
No, he didn't. He said you got to fight like hell. He said you got to fight like hell, and if you don't fight, they're going to take this country.
Literally, he was using the word peacefully.
Nope, he did not.
But
they used parts of his speech.
This is about a deeper issue where people who are in prison today, and I think that if you're in prison for peacefully expressing your views on Washington, D.C., no matter what your views are, I don't care if you're a black civil rights activist in the 60s, I don't care if you're a white January 6th peaceful protester, you should be held to the same standard of the rule of law, which is that peaceful protest, peaceful, and the expression of your viewpoint should never be criminalized in this country.
Yeah, but you're talking about two totally different things. You're talking about people who are fighting for civil rights, and now you're talking about people who are trying to overturn the results.
I'm saying regardless of what your views are, you should be able to peacefully express yourself. And once you lose that, we don't have a country left.
Yeah. Well, I agree, but a lot of those people on January 6th weren't peaceful at all.
Well, I'm drawing a distinction.
They were literally, some of them were literally saying they were looking for the vice president to hang him.
I'm drawing a distinction for countless peaceful protesters who are in prison today for trespassing, unlawfully entering the Capitol. When you have Capitol police officers opening the door to them, at minimum, we should all be able to agree that those people should not be rotting in a prison cell. Not only is that a violation of the standard of the rule of law, let's talk about just the project of uniting this country. And right now, we have a major divide in this country. And at a certain point, we're going to have to look 360 degrees across the board and say, all right, we're all laying down arms. We're going to agree to be one nation. We're going to agree to disagree on the issues where we disagree most profoundly, to say that we are still going to be bound by a common set of principles as Americans.
That's good stuff.
Strong.
Wow.
That is. And here's the thing. He's getting through to people. Charlemagne the God is a guy who is not from the political realm. He just does a morning show, or, he's involved in pop culture, black issues, different. He's involved in a lot of things, but politics has never been his forte, but he started dabbling in it. Back at leading up to the 2020 election. Remember, he's the one that had Joe Biden on when he said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, blah, blah, blah. And so ever since then, he's like, he's gotten a lot more in politics. But you heard him using some of those same old talking points where he's telling Vivek that Donald Trump did not say, let's march peacefully and patriotically to the Capitol, which he did say. You can find it anywhere. They used to censor that video, but that's what he said during his speech. Charlemagne says, no, he doesn't. But Vivek didn't let that deter him. He's like, okay, well, let's not argue over this factual thing that you don't believe is true. And then he moves the conversation. He keeps going instead of getting hung up on that one spot.
Right.
And because of that, he keeps the guy's attention. If he was dead set on proving that Trump did say that Trump did say peacefully, then the conversation would have never advanced, and Charlemagne would have stopped listening. That happens with everybody's human nature. But Vivek is smart enough to know, hey, let's just keep going. Let's get to other points.
Hit those points. Exactly. To me, it's very simple. There's only a few points. You've got the economy, you've got immigration, and now you've got the terrorist infiltration of our youth. And that's what it is.
Well, in the way
indoctrination.
Vivek kept Charlemagne's attention, he can keep the attention of a lot of young people. That's why he would be an amazing VP.
Yes.
Now, I got to say, did you guys ever hear that VP thing that Charlemagne disclaimed where they were going to do something to the VP? I don't want to say it. But.
Mike Pence, yeah, he's referring to, there was, what do they call that, an effigy? Like a big constructed thing that was like, what do they call it, where they have the big boards up and they have the news hanging down from it? What do they call that thing?
Oh, hanging in effigy.
Yeah, or something like it. But it wasn't an effigy of Mike Pence. It was just the setup with the rope hanging down, and they were saying, we're going to bury Mike Pence, blah, blah, blah. And so, for all I know, those guys could have been part of the FBI that were doing that. But nonetheless, that's what he's going with. And he's taking these very minute things that don't represent the whole crowd or even half or even a quarter of the crowd, and they make that the whole thing. Like Charlemagne cannot make a distinction between people that were breaking windows and people that were invited in by the police. Like, those are two different people. The people that were wearing Trump flags as capes and the people that were dressed in all black and brought batons with them. Those are two different people. I know, and we know people personally that were at the Capitol on January 6th. Mm-hmm. And, some of them have gotten in trouble, some of them have not, but most of them didn't even go to the Capitol. They ended up on the lawn, saw it getting wild, and left. That's what most of the crowd did. And the FBI is still going after these people because they were on the lawn, and before they got there were signs. There were gates up and signs that says restricted area, which means you would be breaking the law if you went past those signs. Mm-hmm. Before the majority of the crowd got up there, guys that were dressed in all black came up, ripped down those signs, ripped down those barricades, and there was nothing there. There was no restricted area sign. There was no gates. Nothing to inform anybody. Nothing to inform anybody, so they just marched on up to the Capitol like a big, giant, pre-prepared plan, and then they turn around and get in trouble for it when they had no idea they were... it's like there's a red light on the street and you're driving by, and then one day they take it down, and a week later you're driving through that same area. You drive through it, and they're like, or it's a stop sign. Right. They take the stop sign up, and then when you go, it's not there, and you keep driving, you get pulled over, and you get a ticket for running a stop sign. It's like there's no stop sign.
Yep.
That's crazy.
But that's what the FBI is doing, and Vivek understands that, and Vivek can convey that message. But not only that, Vivek is a MFing fighter. He's a fighter. Yes. You remember him at the debates? Mm-hmm. He was ripping people to shreds. He's got that Trump dog in him. He's got that dog in him.
He really does.
Let's look at some of the debates from 2020, which if Vivek was already a known entity, he would have outlasted DeSantis and Nikki Haley. I guarantee you. He wouldn't have been the first one to drop out, but the problem was he's almost identical to Trump. He's like Trump without the track record. But this is Vivek from the 2020 debates.
Here's my issue with all three of my other colleagues on this debate stage, is all three of them have been licking Donald Trump's boots for years for money and endorsements. Ron DeSantis, you've been a great governor, but you would have never been one without actually begging Donald Trump for that endorsement.
And you attacked him in your book a year ago.
Same thing with Chris Christie as a lobbyist, begging them for COVID money for his special interests in New Jersey, prepping him for the debates last time around.
Christie's like, I'm hungry.
Monday morning quarterbacking some decision he made. I think the real enemy is not Donald Trump. It's not even Joe Biden. It is the deep state that at least Donald Trump attempted to take on. And if you speak truth to power, then vote for somebody who's going to speak the truth to you. Why am I the only person on the stage, at least, who can say that January 6th now does look like it was an inside job?
Great.
That the government lied to us for 20 years about Saudi Arabia's involvement in 9/11. That the Great Replacement theory is not some grand right-wing conspiracy theory, but a basic statement of the Democratic Party's platform. That the 2020 election was indeed stolen by big tech.
Oh my goodness.
The 2016 election, the one that Trump won for sure, was also one that was stolen from him by the national security establishment that actually put up the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that they knew was false. There's a reason why I'm the only person on the stage who can say these things. That's what it's going to take, not people who were licking his boots one time and now Monday morning quarterbacking and criticizing when it's
Come on, we need this guy. I'm telling you. That's why he's my guy. That's why I love this guy. He's just good.
He knows his stuff too. He's prepared.
Yes, he's an attack. Now here's some more. Well, let's just keep rolling with it, man. God, he's so good at this.
a favor, just walk yourself off that stage, enjoy a nice meal, and get the hell out of this race. Excuse me, Chris, I'm speaking, and I'm not done yet. I haven't heard the time when you listen up to this. Is if these people want to send your sons and daughters to go die in Ukraine, they've been arguing for it for a year. Neither of them could even name for you the provinces that they actually want to protect. And this is the people who have been touting their so-called foreign policy experience. It is intellectual fraud. These people are lying to you, the same people who told you about weapons and mass destruction in Iraq. To justify that invasion, didn't know the first thing about it, yet they sent thousands of our sons and daughters to go die. $7 trillion of our national debt due to these toxic neocons. You could put lipstick on a Dick Cheney, it is still a fascist neocon.
Come on, man.
God.
Come on, man. I'm telling y'all. And how long have I been saying this has got to be the guy? And people told me, they're like, he's just too new. We can't trust him, yada, yada, yada. And I agreed with people to an extent. Like, hey, we don't know the guy, and we can't just fully trust him. But, man, the more I watch and I go back and watch stuff that I saw in real time, I'm like, this guy gets it. And think of some of the things that he said back then that are now relevant at this point in the sense of, what was it? Saudi Arabia's involvement in 9/11 and all the, like, he's just, come on, man. I love that guy.
I'm just glad when he said lips on a Dick Cheney. He said Cheney. I was like, oh.
And all you have with Chris Christie, all he could think is, Indian food, curry.
I mean, my thing, you know what? This guy needs to be in the next John Wick movie, and we'll call it John Vivek.
John Vivek. Vivek Wick.
Vivek Wick. I'm telling you, man, this guy, he's getting me going, man.
Wick Ramaswamy.
Wick Ramaswamy.
Rick Ramaswamy. How about that?
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Wow.
And again, I think it takes a little bit of a refresher for people to understand. A lot of the things some of the stuff that we're concerned with personally are the things that he brought up and the absolute corruption we've seen in government. But on a regular person level, it's the price of groceries. It's the ability to buy a car, buy a house, all these things. That's what they're worried about. They're not really worried about the truth of 9/11. They're not even that worried about January 6th or whatever. They're worried about being able to afford. I went through a couple clips this week on the show of people in grocery stores just looking at prices. There was one lady. She sounds like she's from New York. Yeah, here she is. She's just going through the grocery store looking at the prices. She's like, I want y'all to see. Look at the freaking grocery prices.
Let me show you Biden's America for those that still want to vote for this asshole. Are you ready? Because I'm in the grocery store right now. So let's go. I'm sorry. $6.19 for Lay's potato chips? Let's go to ground beef. You ready? Ground beef before the discount is $12.58. Now it's $10.02. Let's go to some fucking steak. Ready? All of you that want to continue voting for this fucking scumbag. Okay, let's look at the steak.
Wow.
Oh my God, $39
Holy moly.
for 2 steaks before the discount. Shall I go on? Let's go over here. Oh my God, $64 fucking dollars for, I don't even know what it is. Yeah, before you vote, think about the prices of food. Got it?
And that voice is ringing in everybody's head every time you go to the grocery store. It's that lady is talking in your head because that's real, man. That's the real prices people are dealing with, and this is stuff that we've all got to get. I mean, we've all got to get the beef. We don't all have to have steaks except for Tony Gump. He's got to have steaks.
Yes.
Yeah,
but, everybody's got to have meat. You have meat with every meal. You might be a vegetarian. Well, guess what? The veggies are expensive.
What's it like?
Well, I don't know.
Please, sir, can I have some more food?
I have offered to feed you before and you didn't show up. But
that's not true.
Is it not?
You've offered to feed me, but we never made definite plans. And when you have, I have been there.
Maybe that's
I've
true.
seen pictures of Bird eating at your house.
Thank
so
you.
I know it's happened.
You know what I need to do, by the way? One of my favorite dishes is the Philly cheesesteak sliders.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm gonna do that. Did y'all see the picture of the chicken I sent y'all the other day?
Yes. I told you should open your own boutique, little restaurant.
That actually made me hungry.
Did it? I wonder if I still got it.
And I saw an advertisement in a newspaper from 2000 from Texas somewhere. It was 4 12-packs of Coke for $9 at a Publix or something.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I think I saw a 12-pack of Coke the other day for like $7-something or maybe $8-something.
Well, you think about it, and again, you think about people that are at the bottom of the barrel, like scraping by, just eating ramen every night. Like, how do they make it? How do they do it? I mean, we're not rich people by any means, but there are people that, are maybe hopping from couch to couch. They don't even have a place to live. Like, you can't survive on, McDonald's. You can't do fast food all the time because it's just as high as everything else.
Yeah, when I was bankrupt and had no money, I remember surviving on 49 and 59-cent cheeseburgers from McDonald's on Wednesdays.
Yeah, you could at least stay alive by digging change out of your couch. Now you just die.
Yeah, pretty much.
There was another guy that he was pulling up an order, like on these apps, whether it's Walmart or Target or whatever. Mm-hmm. You can hit a reorder button from one of your previous orders. Yeah. And so he took one from like 2021 or 2022, and he hit reorder just to see what the price difference would be on the same items. Listen to this.
I feel like I'm gonna be sick. I just looked through my Walmart history, and I found this Walmart order from 2 years ago for the whole month worth of groceries. 45 items cost $126. A whole month of groceries just for me, basically. Wow. But I did notice this reorder all button, and I wanted to see how much it would cost now. Now, this order of 45 items for 1 month would have cost $414.
That's almost quadruple.
That is 4 times more. How the fuck? How? What?
First of all, that dude's high. He is way high. But he's right. Because that, as you said, John Bird, that's quadruple.
God.
For the same items. And you think, it's... Dude. People have a hard time putting inflation into perspective because inflation's just gradual. It never just slaps you in the face out of nowhere and a bag of chips is $3 more than it was the day before. But it sneaks up and sneaks up. And yes, people know, hey, things are more expensive now than they were, but they don't understand how big of a difference it is until they go back and look at stuff.
The frog in the pot and you turn it on.
Yes, we are frogs in a pot.
Now, people like Mexican food, I've noticed that as far as percentage-wise, they're probably the cheapest per pound.
Yes, they are.
That you can go to a local Mexican restaurant, go to the Taco Bell, go local.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And the service will be good too. Trust me.
Oh, absolutely. That I did notice that. Mexican food or Mexican restaurants, they do cute. I wonder. We've got Mexican grocery stores. I wonder what their groceries are like. Is it the same?
I bet you it's a lower
percentage. I used to buy some stuff, and there's one right down from the station.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll video it. We'll go. We'll leave the work one day, and then we'll go document our trip.
I used to buy the tamales in a can.
Yeah. You like those?
Oh, yeah, I would eat them. I just take the top off and just eat them.
Do they have beef in them?
Yeah.
Really?
I
assume it's beef.
I can't read Spanish, so hopefully it's,
Could be human feces.
It could be like grade F or something.
Yeah, just like lower quality beef.
You know what? When the apocalypse happens, I'm going to be eating probably dung beetles and things like that.
Yeah.
So you have to prepare yourself by eating less and less quality food.
At the end of the day, the government's putting hormones and soy and everything else in our food anyway. So it's like, whatever. That's why David Bailey from Bailey Farms that partners up with the radio show, dude is doing the Lord's work because he's getting people the real beef. Which, by the way, we got to come up with a plan to go up there, whether that's next week or whatever, because John Burr, and I'm not holding you to this, but you said you're going to ride a cow.
I'll ride a cow.
I don't know that you can, though. I haven't asked him if that's actually a thing that you can do.
It would be really cool if I rode the cow that we're going to have butchered for us.
I guess. I mean,
no, that would be horrible.
I just wonder about damaged goods. Like, if
cows are pretty big. It's not like I'm fat.
Well, I know, but I don't know if you want to bruise the meat or anything.
It's not gonna bruise. Just gonna climb on the cow. And it goes around a little bit.
I mean, as long as David's cool with it, then I'm fine with it. But I want to be careful. I don't want to ruin the meat.
Now, see, I like eating meat, but I could never watch it get killed, especially if I rode on top of a cow. There's no way I could eat that cow.
Yeah, that'll be the next step. Is we'll have to go to the processing plant to watch the cow get murdered.
Yeah. Well, but you have to realize when the apocalypse happens, that's going to be happening to everybody, including probably people.
Yeah, we're going to have to go ahead and figure out how to slaughter the cows ourselves.
Yeah.
So, anyway, you brought a song, Bruce.
Yes.
We'll go ahead and get into character real quick.
All right, man.
Bruce String Bean.
Right. And to those at home, if you cook beef, make sure to go to 165 degrees.
That's right.
Grade F, grade A, whatever, 165.
What's the temperature for cooked string beans?
You can eat them green and uncooked, man.
Wow.
They come from the earth. They come from the USA. That's what drove me to write this song. My good friend, good carpenter friend of mine, man from the earth, Seth, he came up with a name for this, and inspiration hit me from above that, maybe we're all looking at things wrong. When you look at them in a different way. Is Trump being a felon bad? Is Biden on death's door necessarily a bad thing? So I wrote this song. I hope everybody likes it.
We'll take it away.
It's called The Felon and the Dead Man.
Felon and the Dead Man, Bruce String Bean. Take your time, Bruce.
I gotta feel my music.
Gotcha.
Where you gonna be tomorrow night? There's gonna be a lopsided hell of a fight. It's an all-out war between wrong and right, between the felon and the dead man. The felon's had it hard, but he's leading the race. The dead man's lost, just staring into space. One's a proven winner and the other's a disgrace. The felon and the dead man. The felon's got a rap sheet full of lies, but you can see determination in his mugshot eyes. The dead man's a puppet with a hand up his ass. Between his left and right brain is a huge crevasse. There's only one thing we can do. It's up to me and it's up to you. There'll be no people there to chill the felon on. There'll be no chair for the dead man to sit on. One gives us a chance and the other shits his pants. The felon and the dead man. Now where you gonna be November 5th? I wonder if I screwed that up. Man, I'd like to apologize to y'all.
Pick it up, String Bean. You got this.
There'll be no people there to cheer the felon on. There'll be no chair for the dead man to sit on. One gives us a chance, the other shits his pants. The felon and the dead man. Where you gonna be November 5? I wonder if the dead man will still be alive. We're choosing truth. We're gonna survive with the felon, not the dead man. The felon's got a rap sheet full of lies, but you can see determination in
and his mugshot eyes. The dead man's a puppet with a hand up his ass. Between his left and right brain is a huge crevasse. There's only one thing that we can do. It's up to me and it's up to you to choose the villain, not the dead man.
Hey now! Yes!
That was good.
That was phenomenal, John. Bruce Stringbean.
I appreciate that, everybody.
That was really good. Even if your pause, I just continue to reiterate the fact that any time that you need to stop and restart, I don't want you to ever hesitate.
You know, it's important to get the message across to the common man.
Right.
And I just wrote it. And, I had that tour bus accident back in 87, and it affected my memory. So I've got to have this. But you know what? You know what it doesn't affect? It doesn't affect my belief in the felon. I'm proud to call him the felon. He is willing to take the country on his back. He's willing to take it all for us. And Joe Biden, you're a dead man.
Oh, easy. Proverbially.
Proverbially one day, a long time from now.
From natural causes.
All
natural causes.
All natural.
100% natural
all
causes.
natural causes. Live a long life, you scumbag.
Although it would be cool to get swatted in the middle of a podcast and then get to post it by the Secret Service. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
That Bruce Springbean or whatever.
He keeps calling him Bruce Spring Jeans.
String bean.
Oh, I'm sorry.
String bean.
My
Bruce
bad.
String bean. That's good. I like that. That was really good. So it's a good day. Debate coming up. Vivek is, according to some, still in the running. I don't see how you can't just do it. Because at the end of the day, if Trump came out and said, I don't want to pick a VP, who would be mad? I'd be like, fine. Because we know you can do it by yourself. A VP is a placeholder. And so the only question you got to have for VP is, can this guy assume the role for a portion of time, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 30 days, as president? Can he get by until the next election? And, you say Vivek's got no experience, but neither did Trump.
And let me tell you something that needs to be different if this is the case. Trump's VP needs to be involved with Trump. He needs to be able to speak for Trump in places and not just be sitting back there.
Right.
Like Biden did. I think the role of VP needs to start to change.
Yeah. Mike Pence, you look back at the Trump presidency, and Mike Pence didn't really do a whole lot.
Well, the VP really doesn't have that much authority over too much. It's
Right.
more limited than you would think. Even the Secretary of State or, say, the House Speaker has more authority in all.
Yeah. The VP is kind of just a figurehead, and that's why the president will tell the VP, I'm going to make the VP the head of blah, 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 because the VP needs something to do. And so the president's
get him out there speaking to the people, making it happen.
Have Vivek come up and just start hammering people on CNN and MSNBC.
Yes. I'm excited.
That would be so much fun.
I think he picked Pence the last time just to be part of the system and let it in. And this time around, I don't think he cares anymore.
Almost every VP pick you see is based on, we're going to get this guy, we're going to add this guy to get these other voters that aren't going to vote for me. Donald Trump was brash. He was in the business of yelling at people, making fun of them and everything else, and it was turning off these, tight-anus conservatives that are hoity-toity and everything else. And they said, well, let's get this boring, super religious Christian Mike Pence, add him in there, and then we can bring those Republicans over as well. Joe Biden, I explained it today on the show. Democrats lot of racist Democrats out there from back in the day that still vote Democrat today. The party had to say, all right, we want to have the first black president, but we got to convince some of these white Democrats that it's okay to have a black guy. So what do? Let's go find not only a white vice president, but the most racist one we can find to signal to the other racists of, hey, I'm Joe Biden and I'm a racist, but this one's a good one. This black guy's a good black guy. That's essentially what they do.
Well, I just know if I were Trump, I'd want to have somebody as a VP that they'd fear as well, and they wouldn't want to be president as well.
Yes.
Right.
That's a great point.
You don't want to get sabotaged. But, yeah, I like it. I like all of it.
It's kind of like the mayor of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot. After she left, everybody's cheering and everything like that, and then they brought in somebody that was just as bad, if not worse. You know?
Yeah, Brandon Johnson. God, that dude's awful. He makes Mayor Beetlejuice look like an absolute hit. I sent you, Tony Gump, something, and this will be the last point I'll make on this, is that when you saw that last clip of Vivek Ramaswamy at the 2020 debates, and he was just hammering these people, I mean, hammering the ish out of them, telling them, you're corrupt, you're bought and paid for, and everything else, and you heard the crowd booing Vivek. It's because the people in the crowd were there for the other candidates, donors, special interests, and everything else. It reminded me two things. The fight reminded me of Donald Trump in 2016. But even the crowd reaction to Vivek and how they booed him for saying the right things reminded me of Trump in 2020 and 2016. Remember, Trump, he is the dynasty killer. He killed the Clinton dynasty. He killed the Bush dynasty. Here's him and Jeb Bush right here.
This is a tough business to run for president.
I know. You're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a leader that is real tough. You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to the presidency.
Let's see. I'm at 42 and you're at 3. So
Doesn't matter.
far I'm doing better.
Doesn't matter.
I'm doing better. You started off over here, Jeb. You're moving over further and further. Pretty soon you're going to be off the end.
This doesn't do a...
Here's a guy that buys a house for $179,000. He sells it to a lobbyist who's probably here for $380,000, and then legislation is passed. You tell me about this guy. This is what we're going to have as president.
And he's had the gall to go after
World
my
Trade
mother.
Center came down during your brother's reign.
He's had the gall to go after my mother.
That's not keeping
Look, I
us
won
safe.
the lottery when I was born 63 years ago and looked up and I saw my mom. My mom is the strongest woman I know.
She should
this
be
is
running.
not about my...
Take 30 seconds. That's a tough guy. A lot of times you'll have, and it doesn't work very well with
How tough is it to take property from an elderly woman?
Let me talk. Quiet.
How tough is it?
A lot of times.
Say that to a Bush.
That's all of his donors and special interests out there. So
True.
That's what it is. That's what. And by the way, let me just tell you, we needed tickets. You can't get them. You know who has the tickets for the? I'm talking about to the television audience. Donors, special interests, the people that are putting up the money. For this.
Yeah.
The RNC told us we have all donors in the audience, and the reason they're not loving me, the reason they're not loving me is I don't want their money. I'm going to do the right thing for the American public. I don't want their money. I don't need their money. And I'm the only one up here that can say that.
Come on, baby.
Wow.
Come on, baby.
He just gathers strength from the booze.
I know. And it was all the things that were wrong with politics that was booing him. I'm just saying. By the way, on our last podcast, I made the mistake of trying to figure out what Fish Tank Season 2.5 was without understanding it.
Yes.
It's called Blood Games. We have our own Fish Tank button at the command center. And Tony Gump, if you would pull that up. This is the new Fish Tank season. Click that middle part off. We don't have a season pass for this one. But
so it's outdoor.
It's same thing, but it's outdoor, and I'm trying to navigate it to figure out kind of what's what. But hit the mute bottom or left of the TV screen there, and just decline that. So essentially, it's the same thing. You've got different cameras at different parts of this camp, and they're competing in much the same way they did on the other season. They've got text-to-speech. You still get a lot of the JJ. It's essentially the same people just a brand new season. I guess the town says, welcome to Shitty.
Welcome to Shitty.
Population 204.
The Downs?
Wonder what that is.
It's wanting us to keep getting a... Yeah.
Oh, it only lets you see so many.
Now I put these right there for whoever wants them later.
Okay. So this is the new fish tank season. My wife is going to be very pissed off about it because she knows how much time I spend on this this experiment. But it's out, and because we've kind of made it one of our things here on this show, we're just going to have to kind of keep a check on it.
What about the Birmingham Hotties? Is there going to be a season 2?
Good question. Birmingham Hotties. I wonder whatever happened to that.
Or Hotties of Birmingham. I can't remember which.
Was it Hotties?
Hotties of
Bad Hotties.
Bad Hotties.
Of Birmingham.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to check on that too. We'll do that on the next episode.
Yeah, maybe we can have some on as guests.
Yeah, we don't want to overload the audience, but yeah, if we could get like Sam Hyde, a couple fish tank contestants, and a couple bad hotties in here all at the same time.
Have a little competition.
Yes. I say take fish tank and then make the bad hotties the contestants of fish tank.
Oh man.
Could you imagine?
Now I can see why Fish Tank's back because of the money they made, but the Bad Hotties one, I haven't heard anything about their revenue.
Oh, you know they lost their ass on that. You know they did. Like we were not only the only ones watching it, we were the only media outlet that promoted it.
I'd give it like a 10 to 15% chance they did a second one because why would anybody want to lose all that money twice?
I'll go check. It's on an app called Culture TV. And it's a very poorly put together app, but you can get it on your smart TV, Roku, and stuff like that. So I'm going to check on that, and I'll give you guys an update when we get back. Anyway, that's it for us. Tony Gump, final words.
Water, meat, sunlight, sleep, get close to God, and just stay happy.
Stay happy. Bruce String Bean, do you have final words?
Yeah, I do. God bless America. I want you to bless America. Remember that the working man is what made this country. So don't be ashamed of what you do. If you clean out shitters for a living, that's all right. If you're head of a corporation, that's all right. It's all about freedom. And to quote a line from my song, there's only one thing that we can do. It's up to me, and it's up to you. Vote the what? Felon, not the dead man. God bless you.
Wow. You've getting better and better at that. Good job, Bruce String Bean.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
We've got about 20 seconds left. Does John Bird want to give any final words?
Yes. If anyone has any suggestions as far as underwear that won't stretch out, I've got to get some new underwear. So I just had some suggestions. So don't keep your underwear too long. As you get older, you have a tendency to want to hold on to them for like sentimental reasons. Don't. You know what? Buy new underwear at least every 3 months. That's what I would say. And I've got some underwear that's like 12 years old. So, be hygienic and eat plenty of meat.
Yeah. Change your britches and eat your meat. Yeah.
Eat grass-fed meat from Huntsville.
That's right.
Yes.
Bailey Farms, baby.
Ride a cow.
All right, we're out of here. Until next time, circus!